Happy Monday, and welcome to another episode of Cases That Should Have Gone to the Supreme Court of Canada, but didn't. Today we're talking about employment law and severance. Cases that should have gone to the Supreme Court of Canada, but didn't. In Ontario, a woman was terminated by her employer without cause, meaning she was entitled to severance pay. As a result, she received severance pay under the contract of employment she had that was less than what she would have been statutorily entitled to under Ontario's employment law legislation. She challenged the amount of severance that she was given, arguing that the severance pay in her contract of employment was unenforceable due to the fact that it was inconsistent with the statute. The court agreed, and ultimately she was awarded over $150,000 in severance as a result of the unenforceable contract of employment. This case raises very important issues because although she was successful, and although I wouldn't like to see this result overturned because I think it is the right result, both legally and morally, this case is important because employment law is decided on a province by province basis. Just because the Court of Appeal in Ontario rules a certain way about this case doesn't mean that a court in Saskatchewan or Yukon or somewhere else in Canada couldn't rule a different way on the enforceability of a severance clause in a contract that prohibits somebody from getting what they would otherwise statutorily be entitled to. And because this strikes at the heart of fairness in situations where there is a significant unfairness, where employers often have a lot of power over employees, both in getting them to sign the contract in the first place and then in paying the severance at the end of employment, it would be important for the Supreme Court of Canada to hear a case like this, to set the law for the entire country so that there is certainty about whether these severance clauses are enforceable nationwide and not just in Ontario. It's unfortunate the Supreme Court of Canada didn't see the way that they could stop future unfairness and future exploitation of power imbalance by giving a decision that would guide employers across the country and make the law clear for everybody. Hopefully another case like this doesn't have to make its way to the Supreme Court of Canada, but certainly clarity in the law would be appreciated. Cases that should have gone to the Supreme Court of Canada, but didn't. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Cases That Should Have Gone to the Supreme Court of Canada, but didn't. I'm Kyla Lee at Acumen Law Corporation. Thank you to Brazen Bull Creative for putting together these videos. Please like, subscribe, and share with your friends.